Welcome, aloha, everybody. This is Mace Hammer Time, the deadliest man in the known universe. I'm actually hanging out outside of the UFC PI. I just got done doing some serious training with some nunchucks and getting guys ready for fights over there when they want to get championship experience and they want to get the knowledge of a real champion. UFC tends to call me. I know it's pretty on the DL, but I'm like the secret weapon for all the championship fighters. John Jones, you name it. I've been in there training with them and showing them the Hammer Time way. Anyway, so I am the host of the Mace Hammer Time MMA Power Hour show, and we do that every week on Friday. Comes out with the experts Ronnie J and Deuce Almighty. Shout out to the guys. We're powered by Life of a Fighter. Shout out to Coach Mike. And yeah, I just flew over here in the G6, got a quick little workout in with all the gang here at the UFC PI. And what we're going to do here is go over some nuclear news for the day. It was a great weekend this past weekend. If you watched any of the fights, it was a great fight night. That little tiny venue they had is a big step up from the Apex Center. I hope they continue to do the fight nights there with about a crowd of a few thousand people, probably only, but that place was going nuts. And the fights delivered. The fights definitely delivered that night. And I was super stoked about what went on. So that being said, we're going to get into some of this nuclear news here. We'll talk about this last weekend over on the Power Hour coming up on Friday. We'll break it down. We'll break down this last week's UFC. We're going to break down the UFC from London coming up this weekend with Usman versus Edwards Part 3. That should be a real good fight. Now, first headline we got here, and let's see here. I gotta get this guy up here. You're gonna lose your shit on this one. So the first news here is Bo Nichols got a potential new opponent coming up, and whoever that is, they're dead. Apparently, it's Tresean Gore. I don't see anybody. I see Bo Nichols probably becoming the middleweight champion of the world in the next 2 years. I think he's going to run through pretty much everyone, and eventually he's going to have to beat the crap out of Hamzat, which I think he can. Surprisingly, Bo Nichols' striking is better than most wrestlers because most wrestlers can't strike for shit. But he's all-around great athlete. He's also a ginger, so he's got ginger power. So with that being said, I think Bo Nichols' next opponent is Tresean Gore. I think if we scroll down here, now that where's that one at? Bo Nichols next. Tresean Gore wants to face him. I like Tresean, nice guy, good heart, but he's gonna get his fucking ass kicked by Bo Nichols, as is everyone I think coming up in the next couple years are going to be in deep shit. Gore is coming off an impressive win over Josh Friend, who actually won this last weekend against that up-and-comer Sequitious guy. The rapper from Florida got beat up pretty bad by Josh, actually. The irony of the Sequitious fight is before he was fighting Josh Friend, he had given a shout-out because he finished the guy on the Performance Institute in his Contender Series fight by the same choke that John Jones won. And then right after that, he was submitted by the same choke, ironically, that John Jones used against Cyril Gane. So cruel irony it is. Okay, so that one, I think Bo Nichols going to make a run for it. So we got that going on here. Another headline that I was hang on a second here. Another headline. Wait a second. What's going on here? I got to add to the stream here. How do I do this now? Okay, so I go to my stop screen. Okay, so now I'm still figuring all this technology out, to be honest with you. The next headline we got, and this is a good one. So whenever Brendan Schaub opens his mouth, I tend to ignore what he says or do the opposite. So Brendan Schaub says he's got his dark horse that could dethrone John Jones. So now we know it's wrong because whatever Brendan Schaub says is generally wrong. Who does he got? He pretty much beat the shit out of Cyril Gane fairly easily. I don't see anybody beating him up. I think he's going to knock the shit out of Stipe Miocic as well. But who's this dark horse he speaks about on The Fighter and the Kid, which is the worst MMA show that's ever come out? He thinks Sergey or Curtis Blades could be tough matches for him. That guy's high all the time, and not in a good way. So Tom Aspinall, maybe, but none of these guys are even in the same league as him. So Tom Aspinall's got no shot at beating John Jones ever in his life, period. So whatever Brendan Schaub says, if you're into gambling and betting, just do the opposite and you're going to win some money. So Brendan Schaub, congratulations on ruining those guys' career, because everything you touch, you're basically like Drake. And anyway, so nobody's going to beat John Jones for 5 years. Book it. That's my expert prediction on this. So let's see what else we got going on here. Another headline. Where the hell's my shit here? This is why I need Deuce Almighty here. He's the wizard. So here we go. Here's another great headline. Henry Cejudo wants Merab to be the backup for his fight against Aljamain. Now, I don't see that being bad. And to be honest with you, if I was Sean O'Malley, I probably would let Merab do that and then see how that works out. I don't think that Sean O'Malley is a great matchup for Cejudo, to be honest with you. I think the wrestling's really good, but Cejudo is a little twerp. So O'Malley's length and reach may be useful, but I think they're really planning on Aljamain not making weight here because he is a giant fucking dude. So if Merab is the backup, we'll see. But I think O'Malley actually deserves it. So we'll see how that works out coming up here in the next week, actually. Or when is he fighting Cejudo? 288. Well, we're gonna have to wait for a while. This is funny though. I don't know if you see this right here. Merab Davashilish says he would have killed himself if he lost to Petr Yan. So that's why he won. He didn't want to be dead. Okay, so then we got one more headline here I wanted to go over here. And that's going to be this exciting news for UFC fans. Ex-UFC star Paige Van Zandt gives fans a steamy behind-the-scenes look at her content on social media. Well, if you can't fight, maybe you can suck dick. So that's her fucking talent in life. Good luck having kids later in life and walking that one off. Paige Van Zandt, well, if you're, like I said, if you're not good at anything else, I guess just show yourself naked in life. Well, so good job, Paige Van Zandt. Way to represent the ladies out there. Keep up the good work, and you're making UFC proud. One other headline I found, though, I don't have it with me here, was Baby Shark got a weird DM that some guy wants her to stomp him in his face with some kind of strange. I don't know, some people get off on the weirdest shit, but getting stomped in the face doesn't sound like a whole lot of fun by Baby Shark. Because first off, it would hurt and probably not get the fuck out. But so anyway, this is today's Nukular News. I'm glad you all enjoyed this. Coming to you from the Performance Institute. This has been Mace Hammer Time. 500-0 Hammer Time. Out. Ow!